Should we start?
Yes,
No generation has had the opportunity as we have now to build a global economy that leaves no behind. It is a wonderful opportunity but also a profound responsibility. Quoted former US President Mr. Barack Obama. A very warm good morning to everyone present over here. Today myself, Krisha Agarwal, and my friends Soumik, Ronak, Shambhavi, Krishangi, Diya, Nishtha, Ashish, Arnab, Khushal, Yukta, and Manasvi of Class 11 Science will be having a discussion over the topic Globalization, Opportunity or Threat. The term globalization has acquired a considerable emotive force. Some view it as a process that is beneficial, a key to future economic development, as inevitable and irreversible. Others regard it with hostility, even fear, believing that it increases inequality between and within nations, threatens employment and living standards. This brief offers an overview of some aspects of globalization and aims to identify ways by which all countries can tap into the gains of this process while being realistic about its potential and its risk. Globalization is impacting the lives of many. Is it a good thing or should we be concerned? Who are the winners and losers and what might globalization look like over the next century? We'll try and answer some of these questions today. So without further ado, I would like to begin with the state of connectedness today. Nishtha will tell us what is the state of globalization right now.
As technology and communication skills increase, it may be safe to assume that the world is connecting through countries integrating to world economy. This basic idea is globalization, and with globalization comes its benefit, such as access to better trade and better markets. Global markets offer greater opportunity to people to tap into the markets and the foreign trade, which means they can have access to better imports, larger export materials, advanced technology, and more capital flow. This also had a positive impact on India. Many foreign companies started investing in India, especially in sectors like pharmaceutical, BPO, petroleum, chemical, and manufacturing.
Yes, I feel the same way as well. Globalization also helps in promoting cross-cultural liberalization. The liberalized nations offers multiple avenues for higher education, tourism, and jobs to the immigrants of different nations. This trend will eventually make all of the human experience and customs the same, since all of them are coming together into one. This will also help in the profit of different companies of different nations, and also in the buying of different products of different cultures.
I totally agree to what Nishtha and Diya said, but in my views, disadvantages overpower advantages. Due to globalization, the immigration of labour from developing countries to developed countries have become more prominent and easier. It has led to the unemployment for the native citizens. The historic withdrawal of the United Kingdom from the integrated market of the European Union is a case in that point. The government tried to reduce the job loss due to immigration and showed protectionism towards its citizens. And also, as the cultures are interacting, the few of them are being destroyed at the expense of others, and negative values spread all over the world with relative ease. Not only this, but now the world is being categorized into 2 points. That is connected, the one who knows everything and have monopoly over each and everything in the world, and others isolated who don't have anything.
you are completely right, Soumik. Another alternative perspective argues that in reaction to the process of cultural globalization, a clash of civilization might occur. The fact that the world is becoming smaller and interconnected to each other. The interactions among the common people are enhancing the civilization consciousness but may invigorate differences sometimes. It is also truly said that globalization is not the root for social conflicts, but the ideology and differences among the people can cause serious conflicts. The loss of individualism and group identity occurs whenever globalization encourages a particular culture.
No, I don't agree with what Soumik and Ronak have said, as globalization has helped lift hundreds and millions to escape over poverty over the past decades. Populous countries like India and China have phenomenal growth, standard of living, life expectancy, and educational level. Outwards oriented policies bring out dynamism and greater prosperity to much of the East Asia, forming it from one of the poorest of the world for 40 years ago. According to International Monetary Fund, 20th century saw unparalleled economic growth with global per capita GDP increasing almost fivefold.
Yes, this is true, and one of the most positive effects of globalization is the increased quality of goods at a competitive level. Foreign companies must fight for foreign investment, and in order to do that, they must increase the quality and the quantity of the products to increase the customer satisfaction rate to survive in the market.
Yes, Arnab, but the story of 20th century was of remarkable leverage in growth. But it is also worth noting that the progress was not evenly dispersed. The gap between rich and poor countries and rich and poor people within the countries have also grown. According to the World Inequality Report by the World Inequality Lab, the top 1% richest individuals have captured twice as much as growth as the bottom 50% individuals since 1980.
Yes, what you said was correct, Manasvi. But multinational corporations are a result of globalization. In fact, more than 50% of the progress that has taken in globalization through past 20 years has been because of these multinational corporations.
It is true, Arnab, but with investments comes with different taxation norms in different countries. Tax havens and avoid taxation in their home countries. The revelation made by Panama offshores and Swiss bank case are case in point.
In accordance to Krishangi, what Krishangi says, India is running large trade deficit with other countries, EU as well as with China. In addition to significant trade deficit in goods with Japan, Saudi and Canada, Mr. Modi believes that trade deficit of India is proof that all its trading partners are unfair to India. As a protectionist measure, Narendra Modi pushed through a metal tariff that puts 25% tariff on import of steel and 10% import on aluminium. The international atmosphere is full of threats of retaliation, and it is likely that the major trading partners with the India, the EU and China will hit back by putting their own import barriers against India.
Yes, but now since necessity is the mother of innovation, globalization comes in an increased and demanded form. We can say in an increased and demanded competition, which helps in the stimulation of new technology development. This will help in the increase of quality of work and better customer satisfaction.
I would like to add something here, that we should also not forget that due to globalization, there is an increase in greenhouse gas emissions, ocean acidification, deforestation, climate change and other forms of habitat loss and destruction. Latin America and Africa are the two rapidly developing regions and globalization centers too. These have seen major disproportionate levels of biodiversity loss, especially among environmentally sensitive fishes, reptiles and amphibians. The oil that spilled from one of the leaking containers of British Petroleum in 2010 is also an example of the damage caused to the environment due to globalization.
I'm not completely disagreeing with the benefits of globalization, and even no one can't. But we should also think and remember the fact that globalization above a limit has always led to misery. For instance, we could take the case of 2008 US crisis and 1990s crisis, which started in Southeast and swept across the world. Those two crises led to misery, hardships. As per the Griswold report 2008, in the period of US crisis, about thousands of people lost their homes and trade rate declined at a rate of 49.7%. We should also not forget the words of Paul Streeton, which he mentioned in his book Globalization, an opportunity or threat, that globalization is a boon for the world, but no one knows when it would turn into a curse.
Now, to sum it all up, we can say that as globalization has progressed, living conditions in virtually all countries have been improved significantly. However, it is true that the strongest gains have been made by the advanced countries and only some of the developing countries. That the income gap grown wider between the high-income countries and low-income countries is a matter of concern. But it is wrong to jump to the conclusion that globalization has caused the divergence or that nothing can be done to fix this situation. The international community should endeavor by strengthening the international financial system and helping the poorest countries to grow more rapidly, integrate into the global economy, and reduce poverty. That is the way to ensure that globalization can provide its benefits to all the people of all countries. Thank you.